Brush by Brandy Facebook page and also over on my YouTube channel. My name is Brandy and I'm the owner and artist behind Brush by Brandy. My husband Sean is here behind the camera with us. He's going to help us answer some questions tonight and read off your guys' comments while I'm painting. We are going to do some painting tonight. So we paint live every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the West Coast. Yeah, 6-ish. I'm on the West Coast, and so yeah, it's 6 p.m. here, so we're going to do some painting tonight. This piece that I'm working on, we've actually been working on for a couple weeks now, and it's actually a secretary desk. So this piece folds down, and there is a desk inside here, but we're doing kind of an old world look. So let me tell you what I've got on here so far. I'm going to try to cover it all. We've got a couple steps on here. So we started out by giving this what I do first, I cleaned it, took the hardware off, gave it a coat of Wysol primer, and that was to help with the adherence because it's a fairly modern piece. It's not super old, and so I was using the primer for adherence. Usually when you're using primer, you need to pay attention to, am I priming for adherence? Am I priming for stains and bleed through? Does my primer cover one or both? Wysol's primer covers both of those issues. So no matter what, there's only one primer that I need to use and it covers all my bases. So I put my primer on there, and we did a raised stencil technique last week. So I used this stencil here. This is a stencil from Posh Chalk. And it's kind of got that old world, like a Spanish tile feel. And so I felt like it fit this look really well. And that was kind of how I chose that design. And then we kind of gave it a broken aged plaster look. So we messed up that stencil a little bit. And then we added some Wysol paint over the top. And the colors that I have on here are carbon. What do I have here? Weathered bronze and Grecian clay. Yeah, those are my three colors. We're actually going to layer some colors on. So I'm going to put another layer on, and I think we'll get to another layer over that. So I'm going to go through some layering techniques with you guys, and we're going to talk about kind of what my thought process is when I'm layering colors on top of each other. So that's what we're going to do tonight. All right, you guys, so you guys want to get started? So I told you guys last week that the base that I have on here is the colors that I don't want on this piece. They're really, really dark, and I don't want this piece to be this dark. Actually, I want this piece to be quite a bit lighter. So I'm going to be layering progressively lighter colors over top to where each layer just peeks through from underneath. So my next layer that I'm going to do on this one is graphic slate from Wysol, which is this dark, it's like a blue gray. It's a really pretty color. I love this color. I'm going to do some gray linen, which is a linen color.
Do you want me to hit that side for you?
With the heat gun, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just hanging out not doing much, then yeah.
People don't pay attention.
Yeah, it is pretty wet.
I mean, all the talent is on this side of the camera.
And then I'm going to be using a white, a couple shades of white, and I think I'm going to do Isles Avenue and Kashmir. And these are actually contrasting shades of white. So Isles Avenue has a little bit warmer undertones. Kashmir has kind of some cooler gray undertones. So I'm going to use, those are going to be my colors that we're going to layer over the top. Okay, so some of my colors are getting down low in the container, so I actually have some longer brushes tonight. These are still from Klingon, and the main reason I'm choosing these is just because I really want to get down into my containers where I'm running low on certain colors.
Oh, I see you got the clean brushes.
Yeah, I just set them on my floor, and I was out here like running around right before I went live, and so yeah, that one got some but it doesn't matter because this is actually a really kind of a messy look. And then I've got out my mister bottle, which is a bottle of water. I just use tap water in my mister, but that's because we're on a well and we have a filtration system. A lot of people will put distilled water in there.
That's too loud.
It's going to have to be okay because I need it dry. Okay. Sean's going to work on drying my one side so that I can hopefully show you the next layer. I've been out here painting tonight, and I want to be able to show you that next step. So I'm going to speak up a little louder so that I'm talking over the heat gun. And then I've just got out kind of a junky rag. This is Sean's shirt that he was wearing tonight. I don't know.
Which is why I put the jacket on, because I'm shirtless.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This one over here looks like he got shot.
That's where I was dragged?
Yeah. I'm actually going to be using a little tiny bit of this color, I think. I mixed this color up for another piece. But I think it'll work on this one. Okay, I'm going to start with the graphic slate. And where I want the graphic slate to go on this is kind of around the edges and down around the bottom. It's just going to go over this carbon and kind of lighten it up a little bit.
Huh?
And I'm not going to use a whole lot of it. Yeah, Sean's not really reading your comments right now, guys. Just so you know. I'm going to use a lot of water. So the key to this step is that my paint underneath is nice and dry. And one of the reasons I choose Wisal a lot and why I work with it a lot is a lot of chalky style paints can reactivate very quickly, which means some blending techniques and layering techniques even can be a challenge because it'll peel off your previous layers. If that paint reactivates really quickly, it'll kind of peel off those layers. And Wisal doesn't do that. So I'm able to blend with it without taking off my layers underneath.
I almost feel like I'm like photobombing.
Yeah? Can they even see you? I don't know.
I think they can. With one eye closed.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting this water on, or this paint on, and I'm adding a lot of water. I don't want it to set up, and I'm gonna let it start dripping down just along these edges. I'm gonna do more with it in just a minute, but I wanna get it on the areas where I want the paint to go. This is the graphic slate. This is that blue-gray that I was talking about. It's actively dripping, and I'm gonna let it. So I also have to work this paint into that raised stencil that I've got on here. It has a little bit of depth in some of the areas. I already did this step on the other side, and so Sean's drying it so that I can hopefully show you the step after this.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, that's my hope tonight, is I'll get to the next 2 layers with you guys tonight. So usually when you're doing layering paint, it's multiple layers. It's color over color over color. And what I'm looking for on this is I just want to make sure that there's contrast. So whatever color I'm putting over top has to have some contrast with what's underneath so that when those layers start peeling back, you can see the difference between the colors. If they're too similar, you won't get a lot of that contrast and you really won't see the effect. So I try to make maximum use of that contrast.
And I'm back.
All right, you guys have Sean back again. He'll read your comments off now.
You think? Good?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
I think it's okay. From here.
Yeah, now because I'm using a lot of water, it's gonna take a longer time for this paint to dry. So in between each layer, I would easily leave a 24-hour period in between these layers. I'm kind of trying to accelerate it so I can hopefully do multiple steps with you on camera tonight. Normally, I would not use a heat gun on this. I would let the layers dry on their own and just...
You're out of the way. I'm going to move these things in.
Okay, so I've kind of covered like a frame around the edge that I wanted, which was basically all the area that I had that carbon. And then I've wet that paint really well. So it's going to start moving on its own, which is good. I want it to move. All right, and then I'm going to do my next color, which is going to be gray linen.
We should move all your stuff out of the way.
And I'm going to basically do the same thing with this gray linen, but I'm going to do it down this more on the center. And I'm actually going to let it overlap some of the areas where I have even that graphic slate. And again, letting those colors kind of move. And it's going to expose what I've got underneath, these darker colors, which is what I told you that I didn't want to show on this piece. It's too dark. This piece is going to be fairly light when I'm done with it. I'm going to just ignore this section up here for right now and focus on down here because I don't want to get too many areas in play at one time. I'd rather kind of perfect what I want to do here, and then I'll go up there and start and work on that in just a little bit. I'll do that section on its own to make sure that I get the look that I want up there.
Oh, the gang's all here.
Did you guys have a good New Year's? What do you guys do for New Year's? Yeah, no, hardly. We hardly slept. Well, we go to bed at like 4 a.m. that night.
Like 5.
Yeah, no sleep. We actually went to a party at a friend's house. All right, I'm adding a little bit of that gray linen. The texture on this actually is going to help camouflage like some of these drips. So I'm not going to get like a drippy look. I don't want a drippy look. I don't want it to look super messy. I just want it to look kind of old. All right, once that paint has moved on its own a little bit, I'm going to take my rag, and I don't want to pull away this color.
Sleeping by 11. Some
What?
had the
You
flu.
didn't even make it till midnight. Oh, that's awful. I'm going to let a little bit of that gray linen, graphic slate.
What the heck? Fireball June. She started a new position at Costco. Marketing manager?
You did? Oh my gosh. Wait, does that mean that you'll start paying?
I don't know. I don't know what the position is. I'm just throwing it out there.
Paying me for the free marketing that I give to Costco? If so, yeah, call me up.
Tarny was asleep by 9. I hope that was AM.
yeah. Tarna's got kids. She parties like that, I'm sure.
Like a rock star.
Okay. Okay, so I kind of like what this is doing here. I can still see all those colors underneath. And I want that. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm kind of controlling those drips a little bit. I don't want drippy.
Controlled chaos?
But I wanted it to thin that paint out. The other option is you can thin out the paint in a container before you put it on your piece. I rarely do painting that way. Even if I'm doing like a color wash, I usually always will add the water onto my piece. And that, I think that's just personal preference. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to do that. This paint right here needs to move a little bit. I'm not seeing enough of the colors underneath. Added a little bit more of that graphic slate. Oh, I kind of like how this is starting to drip down onto the drawer underneath.
I guess I shouldn't say what. Fireball June said she's a hearing aid apprentice.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff there. Get your hearing aids at Costco.
I didn't know they had an apprentice.
Well, you gotta learn somehow, right?
I didn't even know they had hearing aids, so I guess that's a good thing for
They
me.
have eyeglasses. I don't, probably because we aren't in the stage of purchasing hearing aids quite yet, but at some point we will be. So.
Mine's just selective.
Yeah, it's coming. Okay. One thing is for this finish, I would say having a flat front would probably be more ideal because these lips right here are impeding the movement of my paint. I'm going to come up and kind of dab under here because I don't want this paint to just sit. And so I'm just going to take away these drips where it's getting really heavy. Just kind of controlling it, cleaning it up as I go. And then I'm going to pull my drawers out.
Yeah, the heat gun in your ear will do it. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy you don't even think about stuff like that because it's not that loud.
What?
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I have Sean do it. I don't want to ruin my own hearing. And then I'm going to kind of make this drawer edge be the same color as what's going down the front of it. So I just guided a little bit of that paint onto that drawer edge. Give a little bit more here. So my paint's actively moving. So at the same time, I'm trying to pay attention to where it's going naturally. It who watches The Price is Right? You know the game
Price is Wrong.
Plinko, where they put the chip in and it runs down in between all the. There's another game like that. What's it called? The Wall? Is it one sits on sometimes? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
My kids will watch it sometimes.
Yeah, they go after
and they put the things down. That's kind of what the paint is doing in between all the raised stencil detail. It's like hitting off of it. So it's not just running in a straight line. It gives it this like active movement and how the paint runs. It's kind of cool.
Should I be concerned that that's how you make it relatable? Is
Plinko?
Plinko.
I mean, who doesn't know what that is, right?
No big
Everybody
deal.
loves The Little Price is Right. Don't lie.
I don't know if that's international.
Oh, isn't it? No, they have.
All right.
How?
Come on. Trying to fact check. You guys get prices right?
Yeah,
you ever heard of that?
Too. Who's the host now? Drew Carey?
Drew Carey?
Yeah, Bob Barker used to be the host. I'm sure you guys do.
Or is it one where they turn it on and they're like, they point and laugh at the crazy Americans? I promise we're not all like that.
Well, that was like in the UK. They had
crazy.
They had some weird shows that we don't have here. Did I tell you guys about that one? That show that was in the UK. I think it did come out.
Oh, they had an Aussie version that used to be on. It doesn't air
Oh,
anymore,
it's not the US version. Well, you know what I guess too is all the
Oh,
prices.
Canada does? Okay.
All the prices are in dollar, like US dollars. So I guess maybe.
Well, they would have to have a different version. Yeah.
Yes,
Pounds
they might have to have a different version of it. Okay, so I want these edges to kind of have a little bit of both of my colors. So I just kind of with really wet paint on that brush, just to get that layering, and I'm letting it run down here too. Okay, now I want to clean up these sides a little bit. So I let the paint kind of run down. I will take these drawers out and get this color inside the body too. I don't like how this paint is running though, but I'm going to rag it off a little bit too. Just gives it a little bit of texture. And then when it dries with that really like matte chalky finish, I'm not going to put a glossy finish over this, so it'll have that kind of really matte look. And then this kind of texture in the paint. Just using my rag to take away where it's like super wet. And...
Sorry, Donna, I'm going to word swap with you. We'll do organic plinko. She said plinko organic, but organic plinko.
Yeah, it is kind of cool just to see like the
path. One, you got to trust the process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really kind of messy, and you guys know that I don't do messy. Like even my messy looks have
somewhat controlled.
Yeah, they're controlled. So even during this, you can see how much I'm controlling how this paint is moving. It's not just a free for all in here. It never is. Ask Sean. Little bit type A.
No.
I'm going to bring a little bit of this down from the top and this front too to go over that graphic slate. And then if you have areas that you feel like are just getting too dark, you need to let it dry and come back, and then you can layer over the top. Just putting a little bit of my paint on these edges, but it also cleans up those drips.
My life is messy in every aspect.
Yeah. I know. Oh man. Well, we have like...
Well, when I step out, it's like Halloween. I wear a new costume every day. People don't realize how messy I am. Yeah.
We have 3 boys. It's like utter chaos all the time. And they're all in club sports. And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Actually, this all just happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's all time to sign up for tournaments and new seasons. And like, oh my gosh. I don't know.
And not every sport has the same sign up log.
Yeah.
Email connections. I mean, I'm sure people know. It's just chaotic. Just with one, it's chaotic. We like to, upstep the chaoticness and just go with 3.
So right here, I want to wrap this side and make it match what I've already done on the other side. So I'm kind of going to make this a little more seamless where they connect. Just down the center of this leg.
That Brenda says 4 girls and a boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot. So we've spent the last, I don't know, we've got 2 are gone tonight. We get them in carpools.
If they show up, they show up.
Yeah.
If they come to the house, I
feel like I still want a little more of that light color coming down from the sides here.
Send them off with a snack and some money, and if they make it back, they make it back.
Basically, that's what it comes down to sometimes.
Oh my gosh, Donna, my eyes couldn't handle that. Nachos on the bare kitchen island. Cover the whole thing with loose food.
Oh.
There's 2 things that I can't.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No. Can't do it.
Well,
somewhere in there is bacteria. I can't hang. I can't.
You don't have that much confidence.
I'm not that age anymore.
You don't have that confidence in our
when I was a kid, who cares?
In our cleaning ability?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
no,
that's because usually sometimes my kids are responsible for wiping down the kitchen counters. So you can bet.
I don't know if it's just that I can't or my stomach just can't hang with that anymore like it used to.
And you've also seen what Logan's spot looks like after he eats. and you know how much food doesn't make it in his
Well,
mouth.
I really don't get daring anymore since I had that mushroom incident
Oh man.
with the Chinese food.
I know, and now none of us can
That
have
ruined
Chinese food.
I just can't hang.
You can also add a little bit of vinegar to your water. I would say probably if you're going to do the vinegar in your water, do it when you've got a flat surface, because this would be really hard to notice.
Teresa. Put foil down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. You still there has to be something there. Whether it's plastic wrap on the counter, I just no.
Oh, that would work. Just shrink wrap your whole counter. That would work. I could do it that way. That would be a good compromise. Okay, so I feel like it's a little lighter on that side, so add a little more here. What?
Sherry says she's been talking to her daughter, so she missed most of this. That's like cheating.
Oh well, now I mean
that's unacceptable. Just
we've
log off.
already done all the interesting stuff. Now it's just boring from here on out, Sherry. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull this drawer back out, and then I think we'll head over to the other side. And I'll start my next colors. And this is going to be way too wet to get another layer on here tonight. This will be one I have to let it dry. But when this dries, it's even better than how it looks when it's wet. So I've got some pretty noticeable drip marks down at the bottom especially. And I don't want that. I want it to just look a little bit more natural. I feel like
Robin, we'll make an exception for you since you just got on. But Sherry, no, yeah.
We did take roll at the beginning, Sherry, and you did miss it, so we're gonna need you to stay after class.
You're out. You're going straight to detention.
Oh, I guess I could do up here. I haven't done up here. Okay, let's
do up. You said you were gonna leave it alone.
Well, I said I was gonna leave it alone until I was done with this. I love how I can see these colors peeking through because I've got some more beigey tones, and I can see that military bronze has kind of a green tone underneath. I'm going to keep going with this. There's going to be yet another layer that goes over the top.
What happened to the British teeth? You fixed the drawers?
Oh yeah, I did put them in.
White
I did put them in because I don't think from here that I'll need to take them out that much. Yeah, I did put the drawers. They do fit in right, you guys, I promise. I just had them off the tracks last week so that I could get them in and out easily because I hadn't done the raised stencil up there yet. So same thing up here. I'm going to do this lighter color, and this is only over the carbon, so I won't have as many colors peeking through. It's a small area, so I wanted to keep it pretty, a little bit simpler than the body. I love how these colors are layering. Gorgeous layers. That the carbon and the graphic slate, there's a good contrast between those, but they're kind of similar in shade, so it looks really natural. And I love that little hint of that like military bronze, that kind of army green color peeking through a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this move, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of that
you need to increase your
slate
filming
in
budget.
here.
We need to get like some elevator music in the background or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we're super low budget and getting lower all the time. Like we're not increasing, we're only lowering here.
It's gonna be like a kazoo.
Like every day it's about where can we cut more corners?
Budgetary restraints are keeping us from adding, sorry.
All right, and I'm gonna kind of brush these up into each other and then let them drip back down.
And I tell you, there's no comments over on YouTube. They're quiet. No wallflowers.
Yeah, well, is there anybody watching over there?
53.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because they've got that weird view over there all the time. And then as the paint starts to kind of settle, I can decide where I want to add more of a color. Use my brush to move any of the colors around. All right, that looks good. Oh, except I got a little drip down here on the leg, so I'm going to clean that up and get inside this leg at the same time. So I like having the legs with that little bit of ragging because it just makes it look like it kind of looks like stone. Just adding that little bit of texture with the similar color tones.
Donna says she tried over there. She started over there, but she couldn't get a good signal, so she ditched it.
Oh man.
Able to comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't comment over there. Well, that would explain why there's no comments.
We put the kibosh on that. There you go. No, none of that.
Yeah. Did I turn the comments off over there? Now I'm thinking like, oh shoot, maybe
I don't want to hear from anybody.
You know what? I'm gonna turn to this side while I've got the chance, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this same step over here on this side. Yeah.
You just had me try that over there.
I know, but I feel like I want it to be a little bit drier, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I'm gonna give it a rest. All right, so I'm gonna get this angle right here, and I'm gonna dig it into all this detail. Kind of gets that lighter color, and then I add
Teresa,
a lot
I can't
of water.
do that. Not on camera anyway. She said smack her hand so she doesn't go asymmetrical.
What? Am I going?
No. Just.
I'm going asymmetrical.
You're okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Sharon. Missed the first part, but loving the look. Thinking about nachos on the island. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I could go for that. You know what I love is nacho cheese sauce? Because I'm not into like spicy, but I use cheddar cheese soup.
Yeah.
I know my kids. And Sean,
look! Yeah, there we go.
Spice. You getting some comments over it on YouTube?
Nachos. Yeah.
That just woke them up. When I'm brushing the paint on too, I'm not brushing on a full coat. Like I'm leaving some of that color underneath exposed because I'm just going to let it expose the colors underneath anyway. So it doesn't even have to be
Speaking of exposing.
a nice thorough coat. So this is kind of what we did on the front where I brushed that graphic slate around all the edges. Adding a lot of water, letting it drip to expose the colors underneath. So the colors underneath, I've got carbon, military bronze, and oh
grecian.
my gosh. And no, that's the wrong lid. Where's my lid for this one?
If you stop moving it, I thought it was Grecian clay.
Grecian clay, thank you. Yes, Grecian clay. The gray linen and Grecian clay, I always want to mix up in my head. They're kind of similar tones. They're just a shade apart from each other.
I haven't seen you guys since last year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It hasn't been that long.
Oh, chicken wings. Oh, man.
Can you guys tell we haven't had dinner yet?
Exactly.
Some of you guys are on the East Coast, and so you guys have already eaten, and we're over here like, stop. And I was out here painting before this, so I don't even have dinner ready. See how I'm not using my time appropriately? All right, and then I'm going to fill in this kind of center area with my lighter shade. And still I don't need to brush a thorough coat on.
I was only kidding him on. Because I said exposed. Speaking of exposed, she's like, don't leave us in the dark. No, there's nothing there.
Is there? No,
don't leave us hanging.
Now I'm wondering.
No.
Is there a story there that I missed?
No.
Something happened on New Year's?
Yeah.
We were hanging out with my friends from high school. And so if I leave Sean alone with them sometimes, I don't know. You never know what's going on. Yeah. Okay, that looks super good.
Well, they get really handsy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a long time, so it's okay.
And what?
Yeah, I gave them permission. Well, me and Sean have been together for like 20 plus years, so my friends from high school have known Sean for a long time too. 25 years? Yeah, because we got married the same year.
Yeah, I do like how one particular, oh, you're not as old as I thought you were. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that did happen.
I've known you for 20 effing years. Are you kidding me? Like, no?
Sean's older than us. So when I started dating him when I was in my 20s, everyone thought he was way older. I don't know, because when you're in your 20s, like 24, 25 seems like, holy crap, that guy's old. And now they're like, oh, you're only a couple years older than us. I'm like, yes.
That just means you're going to retire a little earlier.
We always just thought you were like 30, even when we were like, I'm like, no, it wasn't weird. Okay, I'm going to let this move, and I'm going to come do up here. This paint is all nice and dry, which lets me put this super wet layer over top without it wanting to peel back. I think that's the most unnerving part about this finish is like I have to let each layer dry, and you want to continue and keep painting, and I'm going to have to like step away, let it dry, come back, step away, let it dry, come back. That's the one thing about layering that I don't really enjoy, is it's a lot of waiting.
That's I think you're done at 9 p.m. and then you come back out here and you come back in the house at 3 because you didn't like the way that it looked?
Well, I usually will take a picture. When I walk away, I take a picture of what I've done, and then I can go in the house and like reflect on it. And sometimes I'll come back and be like, nope, it's not it. And I come back to it. But I take the picture and go inside and look at it. And, you know, I'll come and look at things in different light. I'll let it dry and look at it that way. And now I'm going to take my rag and I'm going to kind of give some of this a little bit of texture. I don't want it to look like sponge painted or anything like that. Over this raised stencil, especially, taking off that little bit of paint.
New Year's resolutions. Oh, good deal there, Sherry. Thanks. You know, after a certain amount of disappointment, you realize that that's just a waste of time. You don't really want to commit to anything.
I don't know. I've been reflecting a lot on that stuff, like over the last couple of days. Like, what I think this next year is going to change a little bit. I think I'm going to lighten up my workload a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, but really, huh?
I have to. It's too overwhelming. I'm just one person, and it's a lot. So I'm going to probably like refocusing, I guess, like reprioritizing a little bit. That would be kind of some of mine. Cleaning up a little bit of working smarter, not harder. So I like that. Let's see what's going on with the front. I like it. I like it. Good layers. Okay, let's come over to the side where it should be a little more dry. Looks really cool, but it's still too dark. It's got a really nice kind of stone effect. And I'm going to put even lighter colors over the top of this. So my next lighter colors I'm going to go with are Restoration and Kashmir. I don't have a paint can opener, so I'm going to use this here screwdriver. Yeah, oh no, I do have a paper.
Can you scoot the piece that way at all? Will it let you? Okay. Nobody puts baby in a corner over here.
So my next lighter colors are Kashmir, which is it's a white with some gray undertones, and I love Kashmir. It's a really, really pretty white.
I got this orange Home Depot bucket in the picture.
Yeah, sorry, that's my trash can. And then Restoration, which is an even lighter beige than what I've already got on there.
All right, so let's throw it out there. What's everyone else's resolution?
I'm kind of running low on some of my water, so hopefully that will.
You want me to get up and get you some water?
I
won't, but I'm just
I
asking.
think this will last because I don't have a whole lot to go. I think I'm going to add also, I also got out a little bit of River Rock, which is a little bit brighter of a blue.
What's that darker color right there you have on that? Right, yep, right there.
So this is carbon with graphic slate over the top of it. The chalk synthesis paint is what I'm using here, and it's really good for layering. So I talked a little bit in the beginning about how you don't want to use a paint that will reactivate too much with water because it will peel back your layers. Oh, that's pretty.
I like Brenda's, just to stay alive.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
Solid. Let's stick with it.
It's my 5-year plan.
Yeah, what's that movie?
Was it Billy Madison? No.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, yeah. What's his 5-year plan? To not die?
That's really pretty. That's a little bit of River Rock, which is a little bit brighter blue, and I'm going to let that run a little bit through these colors. Not too much. I'm almost kind of dry brushing. That's not a lot of paint on my brush for that one.
Oh, wow. Trying to clean up or get a bit tidier and eventually give up the real job mid-year and focus more on carts and milling.
Yay! That's exciting. Oh, that's super exciting.
That's
excited
good stuff.
for you. Yeah, that's a huge goal. Man, if you do that, we all have to celebrate, Tarnia. All right, and then a little bit of white down the center.
Not to add nor subtract from the population. Okay.
really like these last colors. This is closer to where I want this to be, but still has a little bit of those layers peeking through. And
Donna, now you're just lying. She wants to eat more brownies. She just wanted to throw that on there to where I just get hungry.
I just want to.
You could brag about.
I want to eat some brownies.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All right, now let's play around with these colors and kind of brush them back up into each other. So what I was saying before Sean rudely interrupted me.
That never happens.
Is that when you're layering, if you use a paint that reactivates too easily, sometimes you can the moisture will start pulling the layers from underneath, even if you don't want it to. So this is nice, and that was huge because I did find there are a lot of paints out there that do that, reactivate too easily. If they have a lot of clay in them.
What the? Trying to just throw up this nonsense.
What?
This nonsensical stuff. But apparently, I guess one of the things would be for her is she wants to be able to make it to the U.S. and somebody apparently invited her to stay with us.
It wasn't me, I promise. You know, I don't know who it was.
The kids are speaking out of tone again.
Tanya, I lied. I lied. We live in a 400 square foot.
We travel.
Single room. We live in an RV. No. Yeah, I think that would be so much fun. I told her I would show her we'd go out and see California a little bit.
And the paints that you're using, Wisal?
This is Wisal paint, and I've got a million colors on here so far. So we're doing layering, which means every time I put a new color on, it's got to have a little contrast with what's underneath. So far I'm at like what, 9 colors, 8 colors. I'm going to rag through this because I don't want these definitive drip marks.
Do you have a different brush for yeah, you do.
Yeah, I kind of do. Some colors, like when I went from the gray linen to restoration, I used the same brush for that because it's a similar beige. I think I used the same for my 2 blues. So if they're similar, I did use the same brush. But if they're too far off, then I just went and got a new one because I don't want to muddy my colors. I don't want it to all turn into one color. All right, I have more steps that are still going to happen after this too, guys. So this isn't even all of it. I feel like this blue right here is a little strong in that corner. And I either need to do the same over here or I need to wipe that back. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the same.
Sherry says, and she was meant to be her tour guide. So apparently that gets Sherry here too.
How fun would that be? Well, I've told Sherry too.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, Sherry, you should come out when we have Tarnia here. We'll go out and have you guys been? I think Tarnia told me she hasn't been to California before. We're not that far from San Francisco, although I don't go to San Francisco unless I have to. It's not a great place. It's super sad because it's a beautiful city, but it's just been.
It's gone to.
Yeah, it's gone to trash.
Yeah.
I definitely don't take my kids down there. It's way different than it was. I grew up in that area, and it's way different than how it was when I grew up. That makes me sound super old, but.
Well, I'm older, so thanks. Oh, she's never been to the U.S.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Even better. So I can't go wrong.
Everything's new. Yeah, going to jail. Yeah. All that fun stuff.
No, I mean, Sacramento's where the gold rush happened in California. So we've got all kinds of everything you go into Sacramento, everything's dedicated to the gold rush. Which if you live here, you're like, okay, I get it. They found gold. It's not there anymore. So stop telling me about it. I'm sure you guys get like that with some stuff when we came and you guys were okay.
Oh, you want to go see a wallaby? Never seen those.
It's a koala. Yeah, they're everywhere.
No way. You see them in the wild. Wow. Yeah.
So cool. So cool, you guys. Okay, I am going to bring back that raised stencil a little bit in later steps, but right now I think I'm just going to let this dry because I really like how those colors are so good. Okay, let's lighten this up right here because this is even more dark. So I'm going to get some of that restoration.
Okay, duly noted. Tarnia says she doesn't look good in orange, so I guess jail's out.
Oh, shoot. Right. How about...
when you go, you got to go big.
How about stripes? Stripes are slimming, right? But only if they're vertical or only if they're horizontal, not vertical. Okay, let's get a...
Did you prime this piece before?
I did put primer on here, and that's because it was made in the 1990s. You can tell it's not super old. And so I did put a primer on here just so my paint would adhere over the original finish from the manufacturer. Oh, hi, Emily.
No. I said it. You don't get to say it.
Emily just went on a trip.
What? Where'd you go?
Emily, tell Sean where you went. I just saw your pictures.
What?
For New Year.
Come on.
I'm trying to remember where it was at the same time. It was really pretty.
My memory's probably fading.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so this is kind of fun, right, you guys? So the main goal is I need to make sure that every layer that I put on has a little bit of contrast with what's underneath. And as I start stacking those colors, getting progressively lighter as I go up, like I might still add a little bit more white in here because I actually want this to be quite a bit lighter. And just making sure there's contrast. Yeah,
Oh, Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's where it was. Oh, that's what it was, because it made me think of the Carolinas. Going to the Carolinas we've talked about before.
And to the Hilton Head area.
Yes, yes. And that's exactly, Sean and I have had that conversation about going and visiting. So when I saw your pictures, I was like, oh, we want to go there.
What? No way. Teresa did it seriously, or are you pulling my leg? She said the smacking your hand comment just got her a warning.
As it should. Totally inappropriate. I actually reported it. Those abusive comments will not be tolerated on this page. You're blocked.
That's why she had to misspell it when she put it back on there. Come on.
Yeah, I've gotten some ridiculous stuff like that too.
Oh, man. Yeah, she said seriously? Yeah. Oh, Facebook's got nothing on me then.
All right, how's that look? All right, I got some drips going on here that I don't want. How am I doing on time? Always run out of time.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to let this dry, and then if I see that I want to add any more of a certain color, and I feel like I might want a little bit more white, but I actually might do a dry brushing. If I decide to do that, I will show you guys next week. When we come back next week, we're kind of going to finish off the finish on this piece and wrap this one up. I'm getting close, I think, where if I just put multiple steps in one live video, we can I'll show you how I'm going to finish this off. Just getting rid of any of these.
So the water kind of almost like a melting effect to the paint, the look,
Yeah, it kind of makes the paint separate and it starts layering so I can see the colors underneath. It runs through that raised stencil. I told you guys it's kind of like Plinko, like from, that's what I think of it. You can watch the water and it goes in between all the raised stenciling and it runs in all these cool directions. The paint separates a little bit, exposes those colors that are underneath. So each color that you put underneath, you do end up seeing it. Every layer does matter.
Hey, Teresa, I know you said it's the second one today. It travels in threes and don't disappoint. Like the third one better be a good one as far as getting flagged or warned.
I'm going to follow.
I want screenshot. Yeah, you just got some followers.
I'm going to follow Teresa around and see what she's commenting on. All right, I like this. I really like that lighter blue. It just kind of brightened it up a little bit. I do want to add a little tiny bit of an iron oxide, like an orangey red in just a couple spots on here, I think. But I'm going to let this dry because I've got a lot going on here. And I put the layer on right before I came on live tonight. So it's pretty wet now. And I don't want it to start compromising the layers underneath.
Yeah, you don't know. She says, I don't know you guys. This is Kimberly. I don't know you guys. And I say this with love. There should be some kind of betting pool about how long Sean can go without saying, what? I take it. It's fine.
You could even hear her saying it in like a high pitched voice like that. That was pretty good.
You just got to let me know what it's up to.
The only thing I want to make sure, since I'm going to kind of leave this, is that this side looks good so I don't leave it in a weird spot where my paint dries. So I choose the chalk synthesis paint anytime I'm doing a layered effect like this, or if I'm doing blending, definitely your best choice for that. If I'm doing like smooth, solid, single color finishes, I would choose the 1 hour enamel paint.
Oh, Teresa, I don't blame you. She had a few choice words for one of those. Don't paint the wood.
Oh man, I had a video. I actually made a video to like counter the video. People were so sure that the piece was like a rare antique, and it's not. It's like a modern reproduction with all glued together joints and super thin veneers. And I had to turn the commenting off on YouTube to where I have to review all the comments because they were getting so upset about this piece. And I was like, I'm done. I'm over it.
Wait. Say it with me. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it just got so old where I was like, come on, like let it rest. Now, the good thing about that is the reason it was getting all these comments is because the video like blew up and got, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of views, which I was glad for. So I didn't want to turn that off, but I was like, just stop already. You know, so with all the good, you have to take the bad too, you know?
Do I fess up and just say it was me?
Yeah, well, that was a lot of
I just created
that was a lot of comments. So you were with the dedication.
I am supposed to work, but whatever.
You were super dedicated and really upset about this piece, apparently.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I love the randomness of it. It's going to be so kind of warm and worn and used and homey looking, I think is what I see it as. All right. So this is really pretty. This is closer to where I'm going. I think I might add a little more white once this is dry. And maybe a brighter white too, because I've got a little white in here, but I want some more. But I got to let it dry, so we're going to step away from it for tonight. And I'm super messy, so this is a messy technique.
No. And that was my new shirt.
I know.
It was white.
But I think I could sell this one. Look, it's got kind of like a Rorschach pattern on there.
No, you should do.
What do you guys see in there?
Was it Forrest Gump where the guy goes to grab the shirt to wipe the mud off his face and it makes a smiley face?
Happy face?
Yeah.
There's like a smiley face in the middle. I feel like that. Like this is kind of pretty on the back here. Like I'm gonna keep going with this shirt. All right, so I'm gonna put the lids on my paint. Walk away, Brandy. This is where it's hard because I want to keep going till it's done, and I've got to stop and let it dry. So.
Oh yeah. Bidding starts at.
On.
The shirt.
Oh, the shirt. I don't know. It's gotta be pricey. There's gotta be a comma in there.
What?
Yeah, what? 6 figures at least?
That wasn't even a high pitch. More of a subtle. You should put that on the shirt. What?
What? Yeah, I will write it on in a Sharpie. One of a kind. All right, you guys. I have a YouTube video coming out. It will be my first YouTube video in the new year. We did part of it live, but it's going to be part of a set that I did for an interior decorator, and they came out so pretty. And so I have those coming out. So check out my YouTube channel if you don't already subscribe. Subscribe there for more tutorials in the new year.
Brenda said $2. Donna said 2 dozen special brownies.
I'll take Donna's. Oh, special brownies. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Happy New Year to you, Donna. All right, you guys are super fun, and I'm so glad you all came back for the new year, that your resolution wasn't to find better channels to watch.
You should go look at a real channel.
So come back next week, and I think we will put the finishing touches on this and actually kind of wrap this piece up with a bow, and it's going to be so pretty. I'll see you guys next week. Oh, my lid for this one.